traffic this morning. For an early day, this close to a holiday, a lot of traffic. Jesus' church. The 12 apostles. And the mistakes in selection of human beings. How many people were standing at the foot of the cross? Mary was there. Mary, the mother of God, was there. And the beloved disciple, which through some investigation we know is John. So you've got John, Mary, and then I've heard Mary Magdalene. But that's 3 people. How many of those were apostles? How many of those were the 12 that Jesus selected? Now, the hierarchy of the church as related to Jesus selecting the church. Well, Jesus knew what was going to happen. He told Peter, "You will deny me thrice before the cock crows." Thrice. 3 times you will deny me. Even though Peter said no. Even though when Jesus spoke in a lot of parables. But when he spoke and when he said, "I am this and this is this," and he did not extra clarify, like when he was speaking about, "Unless you eat of the flesh of the Son of Man, you shall not have life within you." Jesus instituting an unless statement, and then seeing so many of the disciples be like, "Yo, see ya." And when he turned to his closest, Peter, and said, "Will you leave me too?" That would have been a great opportunity if Jesus was speaking in parables, where almost every parable that he spoke in, the disciples would come to him and say, "All right, what did you mean by this?" And he had to say, "Okay, this is about Egypt. This is the Pharisees. This is the rejection of, Israel." He explained it to him, but not when he was talking about the flesh and the blood. He turned to Peter and he said, "Will you leave me too?" And I think I said in another video, which I'm not even sure if I made public, because now I'm just yapping it up here while I sit in traffic every day. That kind of traffic. Will you leave me too? Peter's response is, "Where would I go?" Where would any of us go? C.S. Lewis, the writer of the Chronicles of Narnia, when he's talking about Aslan, which is the lion from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, there's a part where Lucy's in the woods and she's thirsty, but she's like parched thirsty, like she's going to die of thirst. She hears water running in the forest, and she's like, "I gotta get there." Well, long story short, as she approaches, she sees the lion, and she is frozen in fear. She says to the lion, "Will you devour me?" The lion says, "I have devoured whole kingdoms, certainly men, and I'm hungry." So she turns and she's about to leave, and she says, "Well, I guess I will have to find water elsewhere." To which Aslan replies, "There is no other water." That's the point. When Jesus says, "Will you leave me also, Peter, the rock?" He named him Petros, the rock of the church. Will you leave also? Peter, intelligently enough, realizes, where else would I go? There is no other water. And as Lucy is turning away, Aslan reminds her, there is no other water. Now, Jesus dying on the cross utters, I thirst. Mother Theresa, in a dissertation about Pope St. John Paul's homily, explains how I thirst is about us. And how much Jesus thirsts for us. But we should not be deceived. We should not be deceived and say, you know what? There's many paths to Christ. Because I'm going to tell you something. I'm certainly not the foremost expert. But one of the things that I've learned is there's only one stream. There's only one stream. And it's the mortification. It's understanding the victory of the cross. Jesus says, I thirst. We all need to nail ourselves. We need to take up our cross and nail ourselves right next to him. The thief that recognized the kingship says to Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Remember me. But you know what? Do I remember Jesus? When I try to pluck myself off my own cross only to grab a hammer and a nail and a crown to stick it into my Lord and Savior. When I am unable to recognize that there only is one path, when I deny that I will die, that I will have to give an account, that Jesus is thirsting for my holiness, I am entirely aware that it is my hammer and my nail that sticks into the hands, to the feet of my Savior. Not sure what's going on over here. Not sure at all. Boy, is this something else here. Monday. So, the primacy, the keys. Jesus pulled Peter aside. When he transfigured, there were certain things that he did exclusively for the beloved and for Peter. And yet, they weren't even there at the cross. But you know, the fact that Jesus said, you are the rock to which I will build my church. I give you the keys to bind and loose. That which you bind, I bind. That which you loose, I loose. We have a world that says, oh, you know what you're doing is just fine. Whatever you feel is right. If you drive left and your GPS is telling you to go right, just keep going left, because what you feel is right. You'll get there. You'll get there. We can't leave you behind, so even when you cannot read, even when you don't distinguish your right from your left, as I still have trouble with because of my brain, it's okay. Just keep going. You're going to be fine. This person right here has still yet to... Okay, now they're in there. Nope, there he goes again. What in the world? They must be all up on that. I've watched twice now, this person. What in the world are they doing? God, what I know is that what what sets this drive different from those in the past is that these people, I beg mercy. I beg mercy, Lord. Because I need you to be as forgiving as you were to me. 10 minutes. God bless you. I never finish exactly what needs to be said. That's only because of my brain. I just hope that we can all stay one. Jesus asked us to be one as he and the Father are one. That's what we need more than anything else. The only thing that's going to help heal the big serious problems we have with our youth and with our aging and with the unborn is if we stay hopeful.